Coming up this week on Montclair News Lab, this month focuses on immigration stories. From Cuba to mayor of a New Jersey town, we look at what it's like to be an immigrant and a Republican.
You could come to this country with nothing and become a mayor.
We meet a 22-year-old immigrant from Bangladesh who climbed the local government food chain.
It really doesn't par up to anything if you don't deliver.
And later, we explore a son who made his Polish mother's dreams come true.
Our main purpose was to actually create a little piece of Poland.
Those stories and more coming up now from the School of Communication and Media at Montclair State University. This is Montclair News Lab.
Hello, and welcome to Montclair News Lab. From the School of Communication and Media, I'm James Coffey.
And I'm Melinda DePasquale. Each week we scour campus, Montclair, and New Jersey to bring you news and stories we'll be talking about all week.
All this month, we focus on immigration, the controversies, the people, and the solutions. In all of New Jersey, there's only one Republican Latino mayor, which is an interesting place to be with a president who seems to be intent on closing the borders. I found out when I sat down with Mayor Carlos Rendo.
I was born in Cuba in 1964. I lived in Cuba for about 2 years. Then in 1966, the Johnson administration had a pact with the Cuban government to allow those Cubans that wanted to leave the island to leave with sponsorship from their family members. My father's sister sponsored us, and we were able to leave on what was called at the time the Freedom Flights.
From the moment Carlos Rendo came to the U.S., to Union City, he felt like a true American.
I was a resident from the age of 2 through the age of actually 19. It was my sophomore year in college that I decided to apply for citizenship, and I applied, and I was granted citizenship at that time.
He got his law degree from Temple Law School and practices immigration law. His main focus is helping people become citizens of the United States.
Hudson County is a big immigrant community, so it kind of naturally flowed to immigration law, and I'm bilingual. I speak English and Spanish fluently. I think I do a service to our community here.
In 2013, Rendo was attracted to local politics, and he's currently the only Republican Latino mayor in the state. He serves Woodcliff Lake.
My community is less than 1% minority, whether it's African American or Latino. I think people look beyond that, and they look at your capabilities and your ability to represent them. As for the Latino community, I think it's inspirational that you could come to this country with nothing and become a mayor.
And today in Hudson County, I am proud to announce my running mate is a man who understands all of that. It's the mayor of Woodcliff Lakes, Mayor Carlos Rendo and his family.
In 2017, Rendo ran as Kim Guadagno's running mate. This brought Rendo statewide recognition, but it was another race that gave his career a boost. In 2016, Carlos was the chairman for Marco Rubio's presidential campaign.
In Marco Rubio, I saw myself. His story appealed to me, and I thought it was a good match.
People in the state of New Jersey often do a double take when they learn that Rendo is both an immigrant and a Republican. No doubt because of President Trump's positions on immigration, but Rendo says his political inspirations predate President Trump.
In the 80s, you saw a shift toward Ronald Reagan in the Bush years, and that's where I grew up, and it had an impact on me. The fact that they were strong anti-communist appealed to me since I came from Cuba fleeing communism.
Sanctuary cities and sanctuary states are going to jeopardize the state of New Jersey.
During his 2017 lieutenant governor campaign, Rendo ran with a very strong stance against sanctuary states.
I want to direct your attention to the 1995 State of the Union address by Bill Clinton. President Clinton said, "We are a nation of laws, and we are
a nation of immigrants."
In a state where most Latino politicians are Democrats, this politician is proud of his heritage and his party.
Sticking with our theme of immigration, we have a fascinating story about a young man from Bangladesh and how he has climbed the rung of his city's government. This story is produced by Javier Reyes and Mario Papa.
I'm a Bangladeshi American, first generation, and a lot of times the parents they have this narrative, and it's very cliche, but they're like, they want them to be doctors, engineers, or whatever the case is. And to see a Bangladeshi that's essentially in the public sector, it's really rare. My family came to the United States about 30 plus years ago. They immigrated from the country of Bangladesh, which is a small country in Southeast Asia. My father came here seeking political asylum because he was with the opposing party that's in power right now. He saw a new opportunity and a new meaning of hope, and he immigrated here to the United States. He originally landed in California, and then he switched over because there was a community, a growing Bangladeshi community in Patterson. So my job as a borough administrator is to manage the day-to-day municipal operations for the municipality. Being the youngest municipal administrator, like I said, I got a lot of support. You did get a lot of pushback. I mean, some people comment. Being the youngest, anything. Being the first, anything. Being the longest, anything. It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't par up to anything if you don't deliver.
Intishan was my student in high school. He's pretty much my mentee, as he calls me his mentor and his father. So he demonstrated leadership skills. He demonstrated drive. He still seeks guidance, which is good. Being humble, not thinking that you know everything in the world. I think that's important. To this point, he's been nothing but an achiever. He works very hard. He stays late. He makes sure things are getting done. He makes sure that he holds the organization together. I look forward to seeing him in higher places. Hopefully we'll move together, or when I have to let go and he has to fly on his own, then so be it. I'd love to see him soar.
I'm too busy.
What?
Really, I'm proud of my son. He helping the people a lot, all the people, my community, and this country's people, everybody, whoever needs help, he trying to do, And best thing, he listening to us, Always he respect his father, he respect his mother, all the time. He always listen. I hope one day he will be go in the White House. This is my dream.
America is a country that our forefathers, they saw as something that we can essentially always promote progress, stability, a country that unifies in times of despair. I would say it is the land of hope, opportunity, and the pursuit of happiness.
That was a very inspiring story, and I guess I only have one more year to be as cool as he is. Did you know that there's a town in New Jersey that seems like it was transported here from Poland? NewsLab reporter Lindsay Bianchi tells us about it.
Wallington looks like any small New Jersey town. But if you look closer, you'll find a strong Polish presence. 1/3 of the town of 11,000 residents are of Polish descent.
This town is built on a lot of pride, a lot of tradition.
Poland can be found all over local businesses, churches, and restaurants, including the Tatra House on Main Avenue.
Our main purpose was to actually create a little piece of Poland.
The Tatra House focuses on preserving the traditions of the southern part of Poland. Tatra is named after the highest mountain range in Poland. As soon as you walk through the door, you see woodwork crafted in the southern region. It reminds diners of traditional Polish cabins. The owner, Sebastian Stopka, a dual citizen of Poland and the United States, opened the restaurant 6 months ago. It was always a dream of his mother's to preserve Southern Polish culture.
As I was a little kid, about 12 years old, she was always saying that she wanted a cafe and she wanted to have her own business.
Recipes from Sebastian's mother and family helped to put together the menu.
Then we also have something like placek po zbójnicku, which is a potato pancake with mixed goulash, topped off with another potato pancake on top with sauerkraut, and then sheep cheese as well. Some soups that we also have that are traditionally Polish in the southern part of region of Poland is a sauerkraut soup with rib. You will never find anything like that in any other restaurant.
Every Sunday, Stopka and a few of his friends bring the sound of Poland to the Tatra House.
We sing, we play, and at the same time we also get the restaurant singing the traditional Polish folk songs with us.
The president of Poland, Andrzej Duda, visited Wallington September of 2017. Thousands filled the street to welcome President Duda. Mayor Mark Tomko welcomed the president by giving the first key to the city. When presenting the key, Tomko left the president with a strong message about the little town he has been proud to grow up in.
If you look at Wallington on a map, it's in a shape almost of a heart. Almost of a heart. And we said, this community has a lot of heart, and our heart welcomes you.
When businesses such as the Tatra House open, it shows that this little piece of Poland isn't going anywhere. For Montclair News Lab, I'm Lindsay Bianchi.
This Thursday and Friday, Montclair State will be hosting a 48-hour fundraiser for MSU. Patricia Perot has more details for us.
48 for Montclair State is an opportunity for people to become involved by donating some funds to support important work that students are doing. And it's just a 2-day event. It's going to be next Thursday and Friday, April 25th and 26th. And I think it's just a great way for a group of students, like our students from the School of Communication and Media, to let people know all the things you guys are doing in the hopes that some people will help support future projects. What's particularly interesting about 48 for Montclair State this year is that any money our students raise will come back to our department so that we could then literally turn it around into other projects. And it's amazing what we can do with even just a little bit of seed money. And one of the projects we did last year, we went to Puerto Rico. We sent students to Puerto Rico and they worked on a series of segments. They've been winning awards left and right. And so those kinds of experiences, I think, are so necessary, so important. And there's no amount that's too small or too large. We would accept anything, gratefully accept anything. But that bit of money will help us continue the work. And it's important work that students do. I'm going to donate, are you?
We're now going to hear from some students about their experiences at the School of Communication and Media and why you should donate.
I've been able to be the producer of a couple major productions we've had here at school, such as Election Night and the award ceremony, and our newest one, Focus Immigration. Those were amazing experiences that I am so glad to have to look back on for the rest of my life, as well as just a great way to prepare me to get into the real world and the real industry.
And I can't thank Professor Gant enough for everything that he's done for me when it comes to opportunities here. I was the TD for the Focus Immigration show. It was a great opportunity for me and also for Montclair News Lab this whole semester. I was also the technical director. And besides that, outside of school, he also gave me an opportunity to freelance at NBC and get an interview to freelance. And it was great. It was for the midterm elections. I was the graphics playout operator. And these types of experiences, I couldn't thank him enough for it. It's meant the world to me, and it's really helped my career, and it's going to help me a lot in the future as well.
So I've recently accepted a position with MLB Network after I graduate, and I wouldn't have even had the interview, let alone the opportunity to work there, if it weren't for my connections with my professors. Just getting involved on campus at school with our different productions here has helped me learn more as a student, as a person, and I'm just really grateful for being a student at Montclair and having all of these opportunities.
Each week, we end our show with the photo of the week. This week's photo comes from Professor Steve McCarthy. The photo was taken right here at Montclair State during our Focus Immigration special.
That was such a good night. It was so good to see everyone's hard work be accomplished and shown, and we're great here. Follow us on social media, on Twitter at MSU News Lab, Instagram at Montclair News Lab, and on Facebook at Montclair News Lab.
You can also watch and catch up with us on our website, montclairnewslab.tv.
Thank you for joining us here at Montclair News Lab. I'm James Coffey.
And I'm Melinda DePasquale.